Okay, good evening and welcome to the October 28th, 2024 Limerick Board of Select Persons meeting. Let's start with a flag salute.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, well, I'll look for a motion to approve the minutes from the October 15th meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor? Next, I'll look for a motion to approve the October 21st meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, and we'll look for a motion to accept the warrants, which we have just the payroll warrants tonight.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, and would someone read the announcements, please?
The Select Board will not meet on Monday, November 4th due to the voting. The next meeting will be Tuesday, November 12th at 7 p.m. The transfer station will be closed on Wednesday, October 30th, and Wednesday, November 6th for the delivery and setup of the new compactor. The town clerk and tax collector's office will be closed on Monday, November 4th for voter setup. The polls will be open at the municipal building from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Tuesday, November 5th. Absentee ballots are available. The planning board will not meet on Wednesday, November 6th. The next meeting will be Wednesday, November 13th at 7 p.m. The Budget Committee will meet on Thursday, November 7th at 7 p.m. This will be a Select Board articles for review. The municipal building and library will be closed on Monday, November 11th for the holiday. And the Limerick Water District will be holding a public hearing on Friday, November 15th at 7 p.m. for the proposed rate increase. The public is urged to attend. The information is available from the town clerk as well as the town website. The Appeals Board has 2 vacant seats to fill. Please reach out to the Select Board admin if interested at 793-4475. And as a reminder, if you're speaking at any meeting, please go to the microphone so everyone will be able to hear. And as part of the hearing of citizens policy, no personal attacks on any individual or firm, including town employees, town officials, or members of the public, will be tolerated during any meetings. Please direct concerns about individual employees or town officials to the chairman of the Board of Select Persons outside the public meeting. Please stay current with town information by visiting www.limerickme.org.
All right, thank you.
Oh, we're not done yet. And road work will begin on Rangy Road between Route 5 and Things Corner Road over the next few weeks. Please use caution, expect delays, and seek alternate routes if possible. Thank you for your understanding.
Okay, thank you. And now we'll go on to department reports, and I guess we have our fire chief, Vinnie Pelletier, here.
All right, so September department report. Total calls, we had 51 calls. Brings our total for the year as of today up to 518 calls. Of that 51 last month, 13 were fire, 36 were EMS. We had 2 fire and EMS joint responses. The fire station update, still working on the final punch list. The project manager was in last week. We met with him to go over the list of items we have, a bunch of smaller type stuff. Generator is fully operational, and the plantings have been completed. So we've got shrubs or trees on either side of the property to separate from the neighbors, and they put some bushes along the side of the building and some shrubs in front of the generator to try to camouflage that a little bit from the street. Member of professional development, we have 3 members that are going to be attending a program in November for critical incident stress management to deal with members with calls that are traumatic in nature or anything that can affect their mental well-being. So that's through Maine Municipal in November. We also brought on Abigail McLaughlin. Her husband's on the fire department. She's a counselor, caseworker type person. She's going to be our employee well-being coordinator. So when we have these incidents, like we had a couple of bad ones this past summer, we have somebody in-house that we can help us deal with that, counsel the people, give them the support they need for the real bad calls. And we have 3 members attending basic EMT this fall. We have 2 currently already started. One will start in November. Let's see, we took on 2 new per diems in the last month. They're both advanced EMTs. So they've started working shifts. They've gone through orientation. They're now working shifts. And we added 1 call member who's also a career firefighter paramedic in another community that we're hoping will work per diem for us in the future. The brush truck is in Massachusetts. The pump and tank unit's been installed. They're installing the compartments. We're hoping that'll be back in town this week, if not early the following week. The graphics are ordered, the lights are ordered, and the plan to get the radios installed is in place. So hopefully we can wrap that one up in the next month, finally. The HUD funding, hopefully it's the last time I report on this one. So as of October 2nd, all $1.8 million was deposited into town accounts, and I'm assuming by now that money's been transferred to pay down the principal of the mortgage. So I still have some paperwork with that for closeout, complete the process. I'm sure there'll be some performance reports after the fact they'll look for. But I just want to recognize a few people now that grant is wrapped up and we have the money. Bernie Carroll, who's actually here tonight. Bernie was the original person to reach out to Susan Collins' office to see who was out there for funding and get the process started. But a bunch of other people were involved, including Dave McLean, John Medici, Wendy Thorne, and John Cleveland. A lot of people played a role to get us that federal funding. Next thing, I just want to address a couple things that were, some information that was shared here in the last 2 weeks that kind of caused some controversy around town. I just want to clarify, a lot of it revolves around a code violation we've been dealing with in town. So I want to clarify a few things. So on the 15th, there was a couple things said that I want to address. It was said that karaoke was shut down, and I know it was asked by the board, who shut that down. I just want to be clear, we did not shut down the karaoke. In conversation with the fire marshal dealing with the fire protection program, protection system, it came to light that they don't currently have a dancing license. When the new owner took over, she never got the dancing license. She didn't know about it. We did the liquor license in the past. We, advised them they need a dancing license. So we didn't do that one. Stephanie got her liquor permit. We kind of dropped the ball. We didn't advise her, but she's aware of that now. We wanted to make them aware of that because it is punishable by, it's a Class A misdemeanor in the state of Maine. So we wanted to make them aware of that so we can start that process, which they have. Their application is in. On my way home tonight, the fire marshal that's actually doing the inspection called me to set that up, see if me or Stan can go with them next week to complete that. So the other, while we were there, we also advised them about the smoking on the porches, which common sense tells you that building's old, dry, manufacturing in the past, oil soaked boards, that type thing. So smoking on those porches is obviously not a good idea. That is state law. That is a state law. You can't smoke within 20 feet of the public entrance to a building. And that 20 feet is from where the porches leave the sidewalk. That's public property out there. So we didn't enforce that. So it was said also that we're not business friendly, we're anti-business. I don't believe that to be true. There's a lot of good businesses in town. The mill is not an exception. A lot of people work there. A lot of people entertain there, drinking and eating. A lot of good businesses out of there, giving people jobs. It's good for the town overall. So we're not anti-business, but we are pro-life safety. That's what me and Stan do in town. We enforce codes and make sure businesses are safe. If someone has a business that's open to the public, we need to make sure that business is a safe operation. 1942, dance club bar. Almost 500 people died in a fire. Codes weren't prevalent back then or enforced. Fire protection systems probably were not where they are today. So that was 80 years ago. Closer to the future, just over 20 years ago, 2003, Station Nightclub in Rhode Island, people probably heard on the news, 100 people died in a modern building. The building was not sprinkled. Had a combustible interior, led to fire spread. I don't want Limerick to be known as the next large loss of life at a nightclub type thing, so we are doing our job. It was mentioned we should treat all businesses the same. Me and Stan have done a lot of inspections over the last couple of years. We try to be fair to everybody and enforce the codes as they're written. Main Street, there's a restaurant on Main Street that did a major renovation. We held them to the same standards. We employed Life Safety 101. For that business, we required them to put an alarm in the restaurant and include tying in the apartments above the restaurant. At one point, the owner had started installing ceiling boards. They're raw pine boards. We went in for an inspection and noticed the fire separation from the second floor wasn't what we had requested. The owner took the boards down, made the corrections, reinstalled the boards, and then because it's such a large area of raw wood, it would apply a material to that limits smoke production and flame spread, and all with the intent of keeping people occupying the business safe and the people that live above the business safe. Last week, 48-hour notice, we issued a notice of violation, which is what we do when there's a code violation in town. It was said on Friday, we gave the business owner 48 hours to comply. That was not accurate information. The notice of violation was officially served at 4 p.m. on Tuesday afternoon. The business owner had it was in the violation that he had 48 hours to give us a written plan of correction. So the Friday morning notification was just simply a reminder by Stan. I called him and said it's been well over 48 hours and we have not received that written plan of correction and we need to have that. So he did get a hold of the owner and reinforce that message. We spoke to the business owners down at the mill. It was said that we told them we're going to close the building within 2 weeks. That is not accurate information. That was not said. All we simply did was made the owners of the businesses aware of the situation, the lack of fire protection in their business, and that we would be taking enforcement action in the next 2 weeks. And we also told them at that time that that enforcement could include posting the building against occupancy if the correction's not made to the fire protection by November 15th. And that is moving forward. There's a plan in place, so we're hoping that's going to move along. So there was a Y installed in the sprinkler system. That is a fire department connection. They're common in all sprinkler systems. That FDC, we had them add that. The last time we had a shutdown, we required a couple modifications of the sprinkler system. One of those was to add an FDC so we could pump that system. The fire department connection is designed to add pressure to the sprinkler system in support of the municipal water supply. It's not designed to be the primary water supply. It would take us quite a bit of time between getting the alarm, getting down to that building, hooking up to a fire hydrant, laying a supply line, connecting our truck, and then laying a line to the sprinkler system is pretty time consuming. On a real good day, 10 minutes might be absolute best case scenario, but fires can double in size every 30 seconds, so 10 minutes is a long time. So we need an automatic system operated down there to protect the people that are in that building. And the last one that I made note of, it was said that we went 3 months without a generator at the fire station, a backup generator. That is inaccurate. We knew our generator was going to be delayed due to supply chain issues. So we had the electricians unwire the cord at the old fire station, move it over to the new fire station. They wired it into the transfer switch, so we had our plug available, and the mobile generator they've been used for years up there was available. It was across the street. So that being said, I just I feel like if items are worthy of a lengthy discussion during the hearings of the citizens, I think these items should be on the agenda so that department heads can be present at the meeting to answer questions and give accurate and factual information based on whatever topic is brought up. Conversations outside with I heard or I was told, they're just hearsay. They lead to misinformation being shared, and all that does is cause speculation and drama surrounding whatever issues going on in town. Avoiding placing items on the meeting agenda and waiting till the hearing of citizens is kind of a backdoor approach to having those conversations during the meeting. It undermines town department heads, and it's detrimental to the operation of the town. I think hearing the citizens is good. People show up at meetings, they're participating in democracy, and that's good stuff. People are involved. But I've been here for 3 years, and I feel like we just need to reel that in a little bit. So if an item is going to take up 10 minutes of a meeting, it probably should be on the agenda, and whatever department is affected can have fair notification and be here to address the issues. That's all I got.
Two things. First off, as far as the HUD funding, thank you, because I know how frustrated you are at times, and you certainly stuck through it to see it all come through. So that would have never happened had you not played that all the way through, so thank you for that. And are you available all this week to get the old brush truck listed online? Do you want to pick a date?
Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm leaving town Thursday and going to Indiana for a wedding, so I'll be here Wednesday.
So Wednesday be good. All right, we'll get the other Wednesday and
Yep.
get that set up. All right, perfect.
All right, thanks.
Okay, thank you. Does he stand on the agenda, but he's not here, so.
Is Casey will?
Yes, so we'll invite Casey to give us some update on the real estate issues.
Thank you for having me again. I just have updates and then new things for today. And we have several properties that are under contract. Map 39, Lot 105, Dog Road. I was supposed to hear from the buyers today about maybe a new proposal, so they weren't able to. There were two different processes that we could follow to make some corrections. The foreclosure that we have is for a different party that actually owns that owned the property, which is what the main problem is. The other piece of that problem, it's like from 70 years ago, so figuring out what has been problematic. The attorney for the buyer had a solution to start a new foreclosure process, which takes about 18 months for that to clear. And I had also proposed to the buyer that if they had an amount that it was going to take to clear the title through a quiet title action, that perhaps negotiating that would be an option as well. They were going to get back to me today, but didn't. Map 41, Lot 340, Edge Hill Road. We have the closing documents for that here, and it is scheduled to close on Halloween. Map 41, Lot 232. I also have the closing docs for that, and it's scheduled to close tomorrow. The Washington Street property, 62 Washington Street, scheduled to close on Friday, but their attorney had objections to the way the deed was written, and we're working on correcting that now. So we should have a corrected deed for you and a new closing statement sometime this week, hopefully tomorrow. Map 39, Lot 106, Dog Road, the buyer turned in his commitment letter for the bank, and he's still just waiting for that appraisal to come back for his current house. Map 38, lots 4 and 5, we've received the deposit and proof of funds, and they've lined up with the title company for closing on 11/15. And map 42, lot 272, King Hill Road, the proof of funds was received, but the buyer has not turned in their earnest money deposit. I do have concerns that this buyer may not follow through. I will definitely know tomorrow they did not follow through today. Back on the market is 12 Range E Road. I have a signed termination and release for you. The buyer had made an attempt to reach out to the previous owner and ultimately never came of anything, and they gave up. So they sent a termination and release. It's back on the market as an active listing, and we have received some calls on it. Currently on the market, map 41, lot 231 on Arrowhead Lane is a decent lot, just a single lot. Map 41, lot 290 is a double lot across the street from 231, and that's actually a very nice lot. Map 42, lot 131, Nob Hill Road, very nice lot. Map 42, lot 230, Nob Hill Road, same. The activity on these lots has started to slow down, but we have received offers on several of our current listings this week. Starting with map 38, lot 106, as an asking price of $25,000. They're offering a deposit of $5,000. It's a cash offer and proof of funds was provided. There are no inspection contingencies with a closing date on November 14th. There was a mistake on the offer and other conditions, and I've struck that mistake. It had to do with the buyer agency compensation, which is already included in my commission. I would recommend accepting this offer, and would the board like to vote on whether to accept?
Is there a motion to accept the offer?
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
No.
All right, we have a second?
Yes.
Okay, then all in favor?
Thank you. Map 12, lot 4, Quarry Road. We received the offer from the abutter. Our current asking price is $25,000. The offer is for $3,500 with a $500 deposit. No contingency. It's a cash offer, and proof of funds was provided with a closing date of November 22nd. Last week, we received the same offer from the same person, and we had decided to table it. At this point in time, I would recommend accepting the offer. Would the board like to vote?
We have a motion?
I make a motion to accept the offer from map 12, lot 4 on Quarry Road for $3,500.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Thank you. 140 Parsons Field Road with an asking price of $40,000. We received 2 offers. Offer 1 was $1,000 with a deposit of $100. Is a cash offer with proof of funds delivered within 3 days. There are no contingencies, and the buyer added to other conditions a guarantee to clean up the lot within 12 months with a closing date of November 8th. Offer 2 is for $5,000 with a deposit of $500. This is a cash offer with proof of funds to be provided within 3 days. with no inspections, and a closing date of November 22nd. I would recommend declining both offers and leaving the property on the market for another week. We have had quite a few calls on this property, and I haven't lost hope that we could receive something better. Would the board like to vote on declining the 2 offers?
Is there such a motion?
You can't make a negative motion, that's the only reason, so
Sorry,
we just don't act on
we'll
it.
just not act on it.
Not
Okay,
act on
thank
it.
you.
Okay.
Map 40, Lot 20 on Sportsman. We received 1 offer. Our asking price is $20,000. The offer is for $20,000 with a $600 deposit. It's a cash offer with proof of funds due within 2 days with no contingencies and a closing date of November 20th. I would recommend to accept this offer. Would the board like to vote to accept the offer?
Make a motion to accept the offer for map 40, lot 20, for $20,000.
Second.
Okay, further discussion? All in favor?
Map 40, Lot 8, on the corner of Sportsman and Moose. The asking price is $20,000. The offer price is $20,000 with a $600 deposit. It's a cash offer with proof of funds due within 2 days with no contingencies and a closing date of November 20th. I would recommend for the board to accept this offer.
I make a motion to accept the offer for map 40, lot 8, for $20,000.
Second.
Okay, further discussion? All in favor?
We have no new listings this week. So that'll be it. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Casey.
Do you want to sign her paperwork now, or we haven't?
Might as well.
Okay, we'll move on to old business. And we've already just received the town-owned property information. And review legal accounts, there was no legal bills in the folder today, so we have nothing new on those. The cemetery mowing and the Veterans Cemetery Committee, there's nothing new on that this week. Brick Town Hall equipment update, they'll be here tomorrow to start moving the equipment. And shelter survey, any update?
No updates on that. Alicia, you said you had put some information on the thing, sent it back to him?
No, I put my stuff and brought it to the board for
Yes.
any other updates.
Thank you.
But I haven't gotten if there was anything else that anybody added. So I can certainly send back now what we have
Okay.
if there aren't anything additional.
No, I think that'll be good. Yeah, and then just,
To write?
yep,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay, then regarding the squad truck, I think we heard that between the discussion with Vinnie and John, so.
The squad truck is different, right? Well, you just talked, okay.
That's only,
I thought you said the brush truck.
Okay. Update Microsoft Exchange email, that'll take place in December. The Trina Training and Payroll, the first meeting is November 7th. Budget 2025 update town manager information from MMA. So we've got some information included to go over department templates.
So
Changes.
that, in the information that I provided to you, gives you the cost for MMA for the hiring process. So, definitely the 10,000 is within that realm. I think it's like 65 maybe.
6,600?
Yeah, okay, so if you want to lower it. And I think there was something else that I printed from Dave that MMA provided too, so. But I know that was one thing that I needed to get was the cost. what they would charge to do that.
It doesn't include, it doesn't include advertising,
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
so we probably ought to leave the 10 in there.
Extra, yeah,
Yeah.
to have, but at
Yeah,
least that's,
I think if it's up to 10, I think we're covered with, anything less than that being, goes back in. Okay, next item is to review the melon contract.
I hate to be a little stickler, but I provided you with department templates from every department here. So I think we have to yay or nay some of them tonight, because the next budget meeting, they are expecting all recommendations. So you have to decide if you want to see some changes on some, if you're agreeing, questions that I can go back and ask to find out, things that don't make sense, things that are fine, like. You'll see on some, COLA still needs to be added in. Those I'm not really worried about. I mean, those are easy figures to add the COLA, to figure the FICA. I think it's just some of the other ones, so we just want to make sure that, I think they definitely just want to see your recommendations.
Well, we all have the folder. Shall we just go through and see if we're going to approve any of these tonight?
So we're just making a recommendation, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I said, if there's anything you're questioning, then I can go back and ask for you to get clarification on anything. Some of them are definitely more detailed than others. I know a lot of you have been at most of the budget meetings too, so.
Well, any comments on the tax collector office?
I make a motion that we recommend a yes vote for the budget for tax, presented budget for the tax collector office,
With the addition of the COLA?
with the addition of the COLA, yeah.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, moving on to animal control.
I make a motion we recommend a yes vote for the animal control officer's budget for 2025.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
I do want to ask,
Oh,
did
okay.
we have, they met with the animal control, or did we,
She sent in her budget.
okay.
Yeah, they
And
didn't meet with her, but she did send it in.
do we know why it's less? Or is that
Well,
just-
it's gonna be, because FICA's not included in
Once we
it.
had the figure,
So that needs,
That's right.
so
that
it is gonna be a
okay.
little bit more than that, but yes.
so
the
with the
FICA-
with addition of COLA.
Yeah, with the COLA and the FICA.
Okay,
Okay, all in favor?
thank you.
Okay, moving on to the treasurer.
I make a motion to recommend a no vote on the treasurer's office budget as presented.
Any discussion on that? All in favor?
I think Katie had something.
So the no vote, I'm looking at this here, I do see, it looks like the major increases on the salary. I didn't attend that budget committee meeting.
So these the treasurer presents her own budget because she's elected.
Right.
So she has asked for
18,463.
an $18,463 a year raise. I believe she's upping from 32 to 37 hours a week.
Okay, so in addition,
So she did add some hours.
32 is current.
Okay, did we get a second on a no vote?
Yes, you did.
We did,
You're
okay.
just in discussion if anybody's...
All in favor? I'm going to abstain.
I oppose.
Okay, so 2, 1 abstain, 1...
Okay, moving on to the,
Just recommending,
We just, on the bottom where it says the selectmen recommend a yes or no vote, it'll say the selectmen recommend a no vote.
Oh, the numbers stay the same.
Everything stays the same.
okay, moving on to the transfer station.
I make a motion, we recommend a yes vote for the transfer station for 2025 as presented.
Okay, any discussion on the transfer station? All in favor? Yes, Dean?
I'm just curious as to why you abstained from the previous vote. I'm just curious.
Well, I just don't have any information on the need for the increase, and I'd rather get that information rather than just blindly vote.
So would it have been better to held off on that vote? I'm just curious.
Well,
Because it could have been a tie. I'm just,
could have, well, I don't know if we want to come back to that one, but, you know, I just, like I say, I just needed more information. There was some mention of increased hours, but, I don't recall being at the budget meeting if it was presented there, but I believe it was, but,
but you've already voted in favor of, that was the transfer state, the treasurer, correct? That you abstained from?
yes.
So that failed, correct? You're not agreeing with it. It's a no vote from the
For the-
board. For the,
Treasurer's office?
yes,
So on the ballot, it will say the selectmen recommend a no vote.
okay,
And the budget committee has a recommendation also.
okay.
Whatever that may be.
With all due respect to the board, I think it might have been in the best interest of the transfer station budget if Wade had abstained. I don't mean to be rude or anything, but I just think it might have been better just for future.
Could be, but we haven't voted on that yet, so he has the opportunity.
Right, so it was just the motion at this point, correct? Okay.
We're past it.
We voted
Yeah.
4-0.
That's what I thought. Okay, I don't have any ill
Even if I get no monetary anything out of it?
It's just the looks of it, that's all. It's probably not gonna change one iota of a thing, but I don't mean to cause a problem, just suggestion.
Okay. Moving on to the library.
I make a motion that we recommend a yes vote for the library budget as presented for 2025.
Second.
Okay, discussion on that. All in favor? Okay, next is the constable.
So I'm going to make a motion that we recommend a yes vote on the constable budget, just so we can elicit some discussion.
Second.
Okay, discussion.
So, this budget includes $2,750 for travel/vehicle maintenance, as does the next one, the code enforcement officer. So that's $5,500 a year. I guess he had $3,500 last year for his,
Code enforcement.
so that would be for paid travel. We paid him, I'm bringing it up now because his capital request is for $15,000 for a CEO constable vehicle. If that doesn't pass, then the the expense, I'm assuming, would go down, because we figured to insure and all that we have to do now, we figured $5,500 for that. So, I guess if it doesn't pass, the money wouldn't be spent, but we have to have it in there in case it does pass. So I would stick with my original motion with the understanding that this budget is higher based on, than last year, based on the money that's in there for travel for a vehicle.
Okay, would you repeat the original motion, please?
So I make a motion, we recommend a yes vote for the constable budget as presented.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor?
Who seconded it?
That was Wade.
Yeah.
Well,
So quiet.
Does it make sense then that we talk about, I know that we're in the middle of just doing these recommendations, unless you guys already talked about it, but putting an article in place that asks for the, if we should raise and appropriate the $15,000 or as a capital project account for the code enforcement officer, just so that we don't miss it on the budget?
I've got it on my list, but yes, anything you need to know, that's the direction.
So I think that would be a separate vote.
Well, right, yeah, yes. I just want to make sure that we do it, because we definitely missed it last year.
Those, yeah, if it's going to be on there.
Okay, then moving on to the code enforcement office budget.
So I would make a motion that we place a separate warrant article to transfer $15,000 from the CEO fees to purchase a CEO/constable vehicle. Up to $15,000.
Second.
Okay, discussion on that. All in favor? Okay.
And recommend a yes vote?
And, I would say, I'll make a motion to recommend a yes vote for the up to $15,000 for the CEO constable vehicle.
Okay, all in favor of that?
Also second.
Okay. Moving on to the code enforcement budget.
I'll make a motion, we recommend a yes vote for the code enforcement office budget.
Second.
Okay, discussion on that? All in favor? Okay, moving on to the fire EMS personnel budget.
I make a motion, we recommend a yes vote for the fire EMS personnel budget for 2025.
Second, also.
Okay, all in favor?
I do have a question. Sorry. I think I have a question for Vinnie, so I don't think I'm ready to vote on this one, if it's something that we can wait on. Just because I don't know if it's part of it, but he did mention hiring a new person. I don't know if it would be, I imagine it would be included in personnel. Has he accounted for that in his budget next year? Was she hired after? I don't know. I think it's important to know that.
About hiring a new person?
No, that he did. Did he do it before or after he submitted his budget? Do we have that accounted for in his budget? I want to know.
About hiring a new person or reallocating the people that we have?
No. He said he hired Abigail
Oh.
McLaughlin. I just want to make sure we accounted for her in his.
No, that's okay. Well, I assume we're paying for her now.
Well, yes,
Okay.
but if he.
Yeah, I get it, yeah.
He hires people all the time, right? I mean, like.
So it doesn't.
I mean, he must have some type of leeway.
You're probably.
Well, I just think he has to, because sometimes I was looking, he says we, brought all, and so I don't know. I mean, it was a good question for him.
I'm sure he did. I'm not doubting, just want to.
I guess,
I would think what he has, other than that counselor, he has a certain amount of hours he has to budget for. It doesn't make any difference if he has 100 people or 1,000 people or whatever. He
Okay.
has so many hours he
Yeah.
has to budget for.
Okay.
he wouldn't hire somebody if there's no money to pay.
And I don't even mean, I just mean absolutely to ensure that it's accounted for. I'm not doubting his capacity.
Yes, Gail.
What was the COLA factored in for on that payroll? Percent,
Oh, he talked about
not the dollars, percent.
I don't know, we've picked it yet, have we?
I think there was, he didn't, I was at the meeting that he was at. I don't know if he said that he averaged or guesstimated based on.
I know, it wasn't at that
Exactly.
I thought the COLA was,
I thought we were holding them all off until the end.
The COLA?
Yeah.
I think they've been averaging 2.5% on them. They
but
would
not average. COLA is COLA.
Then till it comes out for sure, but that is what everyone has added.
Hasn't it come out? Didn't it come out
2.5.
in mid-October, 2.5?
It's 2.5.
So I thought this was the payroll. Am I wrong? Is this the operations? Is this the payroll? And you're voting yes. What was the COLA that was factored into that budget?
Into Vinnie's?
Yes.
No doubt, it was factored in here.
I know. What percent did he use?
Well, I think everybody was using 2.5% before.
I'm asking because I've heard different. Thank you.
Okay, well, all in favor?
Do you want to wait to,
No, I'm confident in the information that was shared, that he would have allotted for this, and obviously, as being too.
so, did we get a vote?
Beg your pardon?
Did we get a vote? Is that,
Oh, yeah, he said all in favor.
all right.
Yeah.
I kind of held back, but I am in favor, so if there was any question.
Okay, well, is this next one the regular fire department budget?
Those are his three. Fire EMS.
He's not going to not separate warrant articles, are they?
No, it's together.
So the whole thing was his one budget.
Those three, yeah. Just split out EMS and fire.
EMS, yeah.
So you're on EMA.
EMA now, okay, thank you, yep.
I make a motion to accept the EMA budget.
And recommend yes vote?
Oh, yes. Thank you. Recommend this vote.
Okay, discussion on that? All in favor?
Do we have some?
Okay. And moving on to the fire budget.
I think we're
Order.
elections.
Elections.
Skip.
And this one?
No, I think,
It's right after.
Vinnie's is 3.
like a
That's
total
what,
of
yeah, it's just 3
6
templates.
pages.
Next page.
Hmm?
Next page.
Okay, moving on to elections.
I make a motion, we recommend a yes vote for the elections budget.
Second.
Okay, discussion.
I would like to find out election supplies of $10,000, how much we've spent in the past, and how much, my understanding is that all the new furniture in that office was purchased with election supply money. So if they had enough money to do all the supplies and get all the furniture, do we need that same amount in there this year, assuming we're not gonna buy all the furniture a second time? So,
So we
I'll-
need to see the last.
I'd like to see what we spent, I'd like to see what we spent last year before making a recommendation on this myself, but that's,
But yeah,
Okay, well, we're voting to whether to accept, to accept this, so I believe we have the
I
motion.
think it makes sense to,
do we have time,
we table some
so
of
can we
these.
table this and not, and I don't wanna force a vote by anybody, but I just think that if there's $10,000 in there, and there was enough money to buy an office full of furniture, you're not gonna do that again this year.
right,
Okay.
see what we've spent on it.
Yeah.
Makes sense to make sure that,
So you haven't seen anybody's budget till tonight?
No, we've seen them. I won't say that we've had, I personally haven't seen all of the detail, or all of them, but they've been presented at the budget committee, and most of us have been to most of the meetings, so this is just one that I'm not, that one piece.
This last week, too.
it was,
So,
it was.
Well, we'll defer our recommendation on elections. We're moving on to the town clerk office.
I make a motion to approve the town clerk's budget as presented and recommend a yes vote.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Moving on to the deputy tax collector.
You're gonna see there's 2 here. I unfortunately was not at that meeting, I think Brady. One is from the deputy tax collector herself, one is from the town clerk. I don't know how you do that.
One is from the deputy tax collector themselves.
Yes.
The deputy tax collector isn't in a position to present a budget. And that's not, we would never have they're not elected. hired, and they come under the purview of the deputy tax collector,
The tax
town
collector,
clerk.
Yeah.
So,
And we're going to be looking then at the one that's 51,432.25.
Signed by the town clerk. I make a motion, we recommend a yes vote for the deputy tax collector, town clerk budget.
presented by the
Town
town
clerk.
clerk.
Yep,
And recommend, yes.
and I thought I said that at the beginning.
Okay, well, we have the motion and second. Any discussion on that? Okay, all in favor?
You may want to table. I
Yeah.
don't know if we've seen this one yet. I'm actually going to see if the budget committee will allow him to come possibly next week. If not, my guess is you'll have your recommendation and they'll have theirs for wanting him to keep the same numbers as last year.
Wait, what are we doing?
Well, because he didn't come during the meeting, didn't present a budget beforehand, the recommendation is that he would have the same numbers as last year. But I am going to reach out now and see. This is online on the website for them, so. Does have a couple of capital project requests.
So did he present this?
He gave this.
Submitted it,
sent
yeah.
us, Submitted.
Sorry.
I did not have last year's numbers in this one, but
I'm looking
I
at
just
them.
realized that.
So we'll defer recreation as well.
Yeah.
Completely up to you guys, I just know that this, you haven't seen this one.
If we can, and could you, so it looks like what he's done, he has two capital project items that he's requesting,
Yep.
which I think are both great ideas.
Oh, but they're in,
He's moved those, he moved those in his equipment line
okay,
and gave himself,
they're not,
no money for equipment, like he would normally have.
okay.
So,
So how do you think?
in Greg's defense, he is very, very tax dollar conscious. He really,
That is for sure, I can.
he really wants, and he and I have had some conversation, and there's some stuff that I think really should be done down there, at the playground and field. There's been chatter about it this week about, making it a nicer place.
No, he is very conscious.
He's very conscious, he is almost to the detriment of,
Because I had to,
Is- yeah.
what are the new bleachers?
Yeah.
I said, we have.
we have the money, we had to do it, right? We had to, so the money's there, it's gotta be done. So, I certainly appreciate his effort in, trying to do this for the smallest dollar possible, but I wanna make sure he doesn't set himself up to fail without some money in there. And,
He did.
there's the possibility we can find,
What was last year's budget, Katie?
His budget last year was 22,805, so his increase without the capital projects is just $2,000, just over. It looks like he had an increase in his supplies. He went up from 7,800 to 10,000. And it looks like also for repairs and maintenance, building and grounds, he went up from 3,200 to 4,000, and then it's just the capital.
Also added a
Less.
bunch more activities that they do
Yep.
too.
yeah,
Halloween movie series.
don't know what the cost was, but if anybody was out on,
Main Street.
was it Sunday?
Saturday.
What they put together there was, I guess over 1,000 kids, they believe, with the help of a lot of other people and organizations, but that's, we have that many kids here, And all I keep reading and hearing and seeing is, boy, we go over to the Waterwell playground, that's great. Boy, we go down to State Falls and use their playground, that's great. Boy, Leamington's got a really nice playground, right? And we've got a spot down here that can be. The structure there's now is old, but certainly serviceable, and all the parts are available. I know he sent, I think we all got it at one point, he sent some pictures and some pricing on what he would like to add, and it's to add some playground equipment for the younger kids, the smaller kids. There's a lot of stuff down there now that the kids use. I'd like to see him have a little bit more money in his repair and maintenance, and certainly his equipment above and beyond this.
All you had.
Underneath the playground should have chips put in every year. That's something that we should be done. He's got $4,000 for maintenance. The sprinkler system alone to open and shut down probably costs half of that. So, the rec and the kids, it's just too important for us not to give some money to have those programs be successful, enjoyable, and have that location be spruced up. He wants to put, one of the, I say complaints was that when parents went down there with their kids, if the kids were in the playground, the only place to sit was dead out in the hot sun, right? Like there was no, in the summer there was no shade. So he wants to have like a little picnic pavilion that closer to the playground area that the parents can sit under and watch the kids at the same time and get some shade. So some really great ideas.
He knows in the equipment line, and that added up a little bit, just.
I think, see, his equipment line have some money in it,
I know,
and put the capital projects aside.
okay.
Separate articles.
Separate article, we can certainly at this point, make a recommendation that it becomes out of capital reserve account, because, one of those nice lot sells, and we can buy the playground stuff.
We moved like the bleachers and all that stuff. The past couple of years, we moved the capital project instead of coming out of his budget.
It was
It's separate.
the bleachers weren't really out of his operation budget, it's been separate, so this should be the same.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
We also talked about adding in some for the semi-quincentennial,
Yep,
and I don't know if we,
so that should be under programs, and again, he's giving himself $1,000 for programs.
I don't think that they've met yet.
Yeah,
Fireworks are gonna cost more than that.
if you do something, no
So
question.
we mentioned putting that into his budget, so then there
Yep.
was that.
So it makes sense to get
Yeah,
back with them.
I think we need to relook at this one and
So we'll defer this until we get some more information.
Can we do the capital project ones, though? Do we need to talk to him about that before we make recommendations on those?
You did give, did I?
Install of a new-
For you?
Yeah.
can we just put that off as an next week? Well, only because,
You're fine.
I believe there's some donations that are going to come in towards that. There's been some people that have already said they would donate some significant funds towards the playground, so.
Oh.
Yeah, he was top of the list. He was top of the list. So I'd like to take a look at that before we,
All right.
I'm hoping I don't know, I'm gonna see if he can come in and speak to them.
And that's it? That does it, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
so we did have this on here for those that want to know that one of the playground pieces that he wants to add is designed for children 2 to 5 with a capacity of 30 children with 8 different play activities, and it would be set up in an area that is 30 by 26.
any more on the templates? Next item then is to review the Mellon contract to see if there's any additions or changes.
I don't know if you guys had anything you wanted to see or added from last week. I've got it, Joanne's reviewed it, sent it back, minimal change things. So if you're good, I can bring back one next week for you guys to sign and review the final.
I think looks fine to me.
Okay, well, we'll bring that one back. And the FMLA state law, got a note here, we still need some figures from the treasurer, so we'll defer that one also till next week.
I just need to get the figures from Julie to figure out the 1% and then the 0.5%.
Okay, and we have some abatements to approve and sign.
Don, I know you wanted to review those with O'Donnell's. I don't know if you still
Yeah, listen, I went through,
signing them.
I went through them and had a chance to read them all,
We'll
and
both sign them then.
got a good understanding of them.
Okay.
Okay, well, is there a motion then to approve and sign the abatements?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? We'll sign those after the fact. And the updated personnel policy, we updated the insurance portion of that.
I think we need to take another look at that only because there was some concern that it was voted on by the people to give, that was an actual vote to give the $6,000 deferral or whatever you want to call it. So a couple people have said, well, why are we changing what the people have voted for? So I guess I would say we don't sign it and put it on the ballot in March and let the people decide if they want to change it.
Makes sense?
All right.
Does that make sense? It's,
So you want to add it as a question for Mark?
I would add it as a question for March to make those changes, what was already voted on.
Okay, well, that's all we have under old business, so moving on to new business. Discussion of winterizing the old fire station. I think, we met with we met over there and looked at this property, and apparently we should winterize it so it doesn't fall apart.
I think winterizing it is just to determine whether we pay the utilities throughout the winter.
Yeah, it was gonna be to shut it down, like
Yeah,
drain it, shut the heat off, and lock the door and go in the spring.
And take care of the snow so it doesn't,
Well, that's part of, that's,
so, yeah,
that contract's still in place.
Yep.
right.
We decided not to change that,
yep.
to keep it plowed for safety, but the question is, do we shut the heat off, drain all the pipes, and close it up for the winter? Or do we pay to heat it? Do we go halfway and drain the pipes and keep the heat on low? I would say shut it down.
Do we know what it costs to heat it for the winter? Do we have a record of,
Somewhere.
well, I'm saying how much oil it took to heat it? I think the last time we shut something down was the Brick Town Hall. We did that one year there and we made a mess. They never drained it. They don't drain it, right?
Yeah.
They never drained it, right? I mean, that cost.
I think
Yeah.
there's only one heater that worked, that's actually on, there could be some.
I think it,
Why do you want to heat a building you're not using?
right.
It didn't cost that much to do the Moore building. The one we just closed down for the winter.
Do we want to put it off to get a price to close it down
And then
versus what we
verify.
spent heating it?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
What's hot water system?
Hot air?
Probably cost you $300 to drain it down at the most.
How many bathrooms? I never been in
Just one.
Just the one.
One bathroom, the kitchen upstairs.
Probably cost you $300 to drain it down, I would think.
The Moore building was 165.
That's sprinkler system?
No.
No.
Sprinkler system.
How much it cost to shut it down? What do you think? No, I'm asking Brady behind you.
Is it just one bathroom?
Yeah.
It's a bathroom and a kitchen upstairs.
Overhead pipes to fill the trucks.
There's a line up top to fill.
Shut off, light the fire.
Yeah, probably $300.
Well, I guess then now the question is, what do we pay? More than that to heat it. $300 a month. Do we need a motion?
Are we going to defer this, or do we want
I make a motion,
to tonight?
I make a motion we spend up to $500 to drain and winterize the plumbing system in the old fire department building and not heat it for the winter. We definitely spend more than $500 on oil.
Second.
Okay. And all in-
Pay the plumber and turn it back on too, though.
We can turn it back on ourselves.
Outside.
That's when they get in trouble.
We have a motion and a second?
The lights, the doors, in case you get.
It's a good call.
Is it then when you walk in the door, John, that told, I guess, the level of the water tank up behind Russ Nutt's? The little stem coming out there?
I don't want to be a stickler, but we do have a lot going on. Can you guys go to the microphone?
So we're gonna, if we can get it done, up to $500 with the plumber to confer with the water department, because there is some sort of vial in there that shows the height of level at the water tank, and see how that works. And if that makes it impossible to winterize that building, then we would keep it open.
Okay, well, we have the motion. Was there a second?
Second.
Yep.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor? Okay.
Am I doing this?
Call you tomorrow and reach out to the water department.
She hasn't had good luck with it.
I'm getting elderly.
It's all good.
Next item is a citizen request of having a streetlight installed at Route 5 and Enterprise Road.
Oh, we can do a trade.
Stan did think this fell under DOT,
Unless we put it,
but, yeah.
excuse me.
Well, if we put it, I mean, we had the one put up at,
Yeah, no,
A lookout.
definitely, yes. No, we definitely can do it. But he said that
Technically.
you could, I mean, you can put it to them, but then who knows when they happen to be.
Right.
so can we reach out to CMP and find out how much it will cost to put
A street
a
light.
street light at the corner of Route 5 and Enterprise Road?
I'm surprised there isn't one, actually.
Well, let's find out what it's gonna cost, and if it's reasonable, I think they put them in for free. It's just, there's a monthly cost
Yeah.
per street light.
Yes, yeah.
So we'll find out what the monthly cost would add to our current CMP bill.
Okay.
Okay, well, we'll defer till we get that information. The next item is to sign the termination and purchase and sales agreement that was discussed earlier.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? We'll sign that after the fact, and then the next item is to sign the deeds.
Those are deeds for
So municipal.
the ones that are coming up?
That we already,
The ones that are closing this week,
Okay, so the ones that are coming up to close this week.
the ones that are coming up to close this week,
Mhm.
except for Washington Street, which has a mistake in it.
I make a motion, we sign the deeds presented for closing this week.
second.
Okay, all in favor?
Thanks, John.
Next, is there any hearing of citizens? Or any citizens to hear?
I didn't end up signing the last pages of the next few, just because I wasn't sure where we signed.
Historical Society Director, I want to thank the community for Saturday. We had a fantastic turnout. We had between 400 and 700 people come through the Congregational Church by itself. It was like people upon people upon people. It was great. It was good. Greg did a great job. So we're already looking into the third link. Also, I wanted to announce voting day. Historical Society is doing the annual sale. So I'm asking everybody, bake something and come buy some sweets. Also this year, I'm going to try a grab and go. I'm going to make homemade chop suey. So if somebody's working, they can come do their civil duties and get a meal. We'll try it. Historical Society is also having their first fall craft fair at the Congregational Church. We have been gifted the church as of last Thursday. Work in progress. But we have a lot of projects that we want to do for the community. So we're having a fall craft fair. We have probably, 13 vendors at this point signed up. We'll be serving breakfast, lunch, snacks, goodies, and the vendors, local and some not so local. It's going to be 9 to 4 on the 9th and 10th of November. Then Parks and Rec coordinated with the Historical Society and adding to the Christmas, Village Christmas on, let me get the dates right, guys. December 7th. We are doing a recital up in the church part itself. They'll have a choir singing Christmas music. We want anybody come in. Practice is going to be Mondays, November 18th, 25th, and December 2nd, 6:30 to 7:30 upstairs in the church. It's going to be in. He's changing the time of like the parade to tie it all in, so it keeps everybody. Nobody just comes for the parade and then all go home. Mm-hmm. So we tie in the Christmas tree lighting, the chorus recital. It's gonna be good. Any questions?
No questions. If I would have known it was a haunted house, I might not have got in.
Did you do the haunted house?
I did.
That was my first year.
It's a shock.
Oh. Wait till next year. We're gonna get better.
Now I've been warned.
It was fun. It was fun seeing all the
great.
kids and doing the donut race.
Thank you. Oh, I know. It was a good time. Thanks.
Thank you for your
All right.
support.
Thank you, Lisa. Anyone else?
Last week, you guys talked about advertising the shopping guide about the brush truck. And after thinking about it a little bit, whatever it brings, 10, 15,000. But we're selling all the land, and I've stated a few times that we put some of the land for sale in the local shopping guide. You know, we've generated $400,000, $500,000, $600,000. And some of these lots, we haven't been getting too many bids, so, 1 week or 2 weeks, it wouldn't matter. Like a couple of these we've put off now a couple of weeks, but, so we could get something in the shopping guide on some of the lots that don't seem to be moving, see if somebody local that doesn't know about the website and the town page. I think it would bring some, might bring some more people, might be worth it to try it for a week. So.
Thanks, Steve.
Okay, anyone else?
Brady Carroll, I just want to say that now that the fire department, we're finally closing the folder, I hope all the misinformation stops about the overages, equipment not being right, and this and that. There's been a lot of work put in to that project, not only by the committee that saw it built, but by the previous committees before. Gil tried 2 times. It's a daunting task to get all that information together and lining the financing up. We got to the point where you really didn't want to go get coffee because you were being badgered all the time about the money not coming in. The money was always going to come in. It just takes time to go through the 64 pages of instructions, and you get passed on to one person, and then they said, oh, you have to do something different. You folks cannot imagine what that process was like. And then we start hearing negative comments about equipment not being right by people that are actively or have been actively involved in that project. That doesn't make it right. I think down at the dump, Joanne, was it, somebody said the station was $12,000 or? 12 million, yes, $12 million. I wish we had $12 million to put towards the station. We really would have had something. I think that building came out 99.9% the way everybody wanted it. There are some things we wish we could have changed, or maybe we should have, but I think it meets all the programs that it has to. And if OSHA passes all the new laws that are coming out that all the stations have to meet, I don't know how some of the towns are going to do it. I think we're ahead of the curve. So that was a good project. The only other thing I'd like to say, we got in the local election coming up, there's a lot of important things that we have to vote on. Some good, some not so good, and some of the good ones, there are parts of it that aren't good. I think that the charter committee did a good job putting things together. I'm not in favor of everything, but I think it's a place to start. I think we need a town manager. I don't think it's fair to you people because you don't have the time to spend up here. You need somebody every day to get the mail, knows the rules, knows everything, and can go after funding. So I hope people take the opportunity to read it and vote on it. The business ordinance, my opinion, they could throw it out the window. Just my opinion. But I hope people take the time and vote on it, and I hope we have a turnout at this election, like we did on the fire station project. It wasn't just a small group of people. I think it was a pretty good representation of the town. So
I think Dee Dee says she's already had 600 absentee ballots.
that's a good start.
Yeah.
That's a good start. So I hope everybody takes the time and read it. However you vote, I hope everybody takes the time to read it.
Brady, I want to make sure that you get thanked for the time that you spent at the fire station. I mean, you were there, if not every day, most days, and I think it came out as positively as it did because of the time you spent there for free on behalf of the town. So thank you for that.
I'm glad I had the experience and time to do it, but that's my last hurrah for the town. That's it.
Tell the next one, Barney.
Well, if you want me to do another one, you can pay.
Okay, anyone else?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? All right.